All right, so crypto candle. My name is Will. I work with Alex Lorenzo as part of his FS group as a coach. Currently, we are looking at the current market conditions and what happens if this thing swings the other way. Right. Our part two, we talked about 100K Bitcoin. Is it possible? How would that happen? What's a good exit strategy? These are different things we covered in the previous video. If Bitcoin can reach that, which if you watch that video, I give you realistic analysis on whether or not I think Bitcoin can reach that and what I think Bitcoin can do after that, right? So we're talking about where the market can move if we move into this bullish push, where the market can go, and how things can kind of come together. Now, in the current market conditions, I can tell you this. We're looking at a macro downtrend, right? Macro downtrend means what? It means bear flag, right? All in all other words. I know people don't like hearing the word bear because they, for some reason, get offended when you say it, but it's like, I'm not being bearish, guys. It's the term that you use, right? A market goes up, a market goes down, a market slows down, a market speeds up. You got the rabbit and the tortoise, you got the bear and the bull. These are things and terms that you use. People need to separate the emotion from the word bear and understand what it means. They're both positive. A bull market is positive. A bear market is positive. I'll show you that later on in another video, kind of why those would be positive. But first, let's start with this video. Basically, looking at the current scenario as far as BTC. Boom. Macro downtrend. Instant. What do we see here, guys? Rejection on the 200 MA. Red being 200. Blue being 50. This is my EMA right here. 50 and 200. Death cross. Death cross, guys. Okay? I know people don't like seeing that word. Look at my video number 1 that I posted today. That video will describe the history of Bitcoin, right? How things are looking, where things are going, all that good stuff. So what do we see here? Historically, we have never came out of a death cross in the positive. Have we came up and tried to attempt? Yes, we have, exactly what we're doing now. And we do that every cycle, guys. This is nothing new. Every single cycle we try to veer out of that death cross, and then boom, it's called a big fake out. It's basically, a dead cat bounce. Is there a possibility of moving out of this? There's always a possibility. I can tell you every market cycle, this time is different. Every single market cycle. I can tell you guys, retail has been in the market for a long time, well before this bull market. I can tell you that institutions have been in the market well before this market. The investor part, where institutions and retail and all that come in, is just there's more money in the market. That's it. It doesn't mean that the market goes forever. It creates a higher floor. That's why Bitcoin over time goes from 3K floor to 20K floor. Think about it. That's because there's more liquidity in the market, guys. Like it's not hard math. That's why Bitcoin always raises. That's why the market always raises. The market cap, it continually goes up because there's always liquidity being added to the market. Bull markets and bear markets are two different things. All right. So let's get going with the bear. All right. Rejection right here on a 200-day MA. We're seeing consistent push down. Again, this is kind of the hour of the night where these things can kind of occur. So this thing could always turn around, right? The daily could definitely boost this thing up, and it could blow up the other way. I've seen them do this over and over and over again. Zero, right? A, B, C. If you know the ABC patterns, where do ABC patterns go? They don't go up. They ABC and then A, B, C. That's how ABC patterns work, guys. All right? We're not looking at, in this scenario, a bullish push if we ABC. This daily has to close here. If we push to here, right, and retrace to here and looked positive and then push to here, do you see any red candles in here? Zero. That's what a bullish push looks like. Fall over, right? Retrace to recapture money. Boom. What do you see here? Red candle. This candle closes like this. What do you consider this? Yes, we can still push up. This is telling me that the trend is starting to run out of energy, though. Right? The volume is very low for BTC to be moving like this. Like, very low. If you look at the volume, there are only spikes. That's it. Spikes the volume. Everything else is just like dead. There's no interest in BTC overall. If we basically come through here, ABC, we end up in a lower position. From what I'm saying, we caught rejection on the 200 MA, something I brought up on my Twitter, guys. So if you follow my Twitter, you know this. And my TikTok. And yes, USD did break above the 200, but USDC has not been around as long as Tether, guys. Like, Tether is the backbone staple of BTC. It's the best way to see what BTC's actual movement looks like. You can see right here, it attempted to touch, and the second it came within range of it, boom, right? Bears stepped in. Bears are shoving this down now. Well, again, we'll see how this closes out. But ultimately, if this begins to break down, I believe this is going to turn into another ABC to the downside. Does that mean we necessarily hit the floor? Not necessarily. Maybe we come deeper, play sideways, or get a bounce to move up higher, right? That's always a possibility. So, a little bit of optimism, a little bit of non-optimism, but be safe, What is our floor price? Our floor price right here, if we were to fall over today, it'd be 24. If we were to fall over at the end of next year, guys, you'd be looking at a 42K floor price. You could technically exit right now and still be in profit if you bought in the end of next year. There's no reason for people to really buy here. Institutions aren't buying these tops. I guarantee you that. If you look here at this whole scenario right here, right? There's no way an institution is going to buy this when they buy here, and they buy here. Like, why would they buy this? They may nudge this a little bit to get you guys to buy on top of them, but really they're trying to fish each other. You guys are just getting caught in the middle as investors. So you should definitely be safe with your investment. How can I be safe? I can set stop losses, right? I can buy and set a stop loss, and then if it hits my stop loss, I'm out. And then if I find another position to enter, I'll enter again. That's basically the safest way you can do it. But again, macro downtrend. We're still under the bull flag, still under the 200 AMA, and we still have potential to, even if we break up above the bull flag, to follow the bull flag down. All right. This thing has flipped here. Definitely look at my video 1. It will show you kind of where I'm saying that these death flags occur and what happens with them. And then this right here, basically flipping up and then flipping back to hit the floor. Every single bull cycle. These things always happen. I'll actually cover it real quick since we're talking about it. Zoom this up real quick. Look. Boom. Look at that. Broke well above, just like we are now. Boom. Resistance. Boom. Resistance. What happens? Fall, right? Resistance. Resistance. And now we've gotten onto our second death cross, right? First flip death cross, second flip death cross. Boom. Done. Over here, 2013, which looks very similar to now. Boom. Look at that. It even looks like it's veering up for an uptrend. Boom. Breaks above the 200 AMA, finds support, and still falls, guys. Like, look at this. Lowest price point, second lowest price point, right? This was ultimately the lowest point. Again, guys, keep this in mind when watching the market. And I know some people are like, well, you're talking about this side of 2015, but you're not talking about this side of 2013. This side of 2013 doesn't have a death cross. So this run up makes sense, right? It also found support on what? The 200 AMA, and was able to bounce above it. And the 50 AMA barely came in contact with it and then bounced and took off. And that's what shoved this whole push. That is not what's happening right now. We've already fully crossed. Keep this in mind. All right. Well, that's current market conditions, what I'm currently seeing in the market. I hope this gives everybody a better perspective on where things can go. Be safe in the market. Try to be optimistic if you can be. Optimism for me is bear or bull, because on the floor, I'm buying. When we're going up, I'm selling. It's all a win-win for me. All right, have a great day. Again, Will with Alex Lorenzo as far as an FS coach, and have a great day.